Hey folks, Keith Straub, ARNO USA Business Development Manager, coming to you from Business Development Headquarters in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm going to talk to you today about a spreadsheet that we developed to help you calculate cost savings when you convert to the ARNO Fast Change system, which is a through coolant platen that you put onto your Citizen or Star machine. Features quick change tooling through the tool coolant delivery without any external coolant lines going to your tools, and various other features that when combined will help reduce downtime of your spindle for tool changes and setups and help more parts hit that part chute every shift and every day, which is going to generate more revenue for you, and it's going to save costs as far as keeping that spindle up and running. So we've developed a spreadsheet to help you calculate what that potential revenue generation piece is before you make the investment in the Fast Change system. So we don't want you to take our word for it. We want you to calculate the numbers yourselves so you can see what your return on investment could potentially be when you convert to this Fast Change system. We've seen other customers already install this system and benefit from those cost savings and higher revenue generation. But again, we need you to know it because you're the one making the investment, and every time you make an investment into your organization by buying new equipment or buying new kinds of tooling, you have to be able to justify that up front with potential cost savings and revenue generation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to geek out on you for about 5 minutes here with a typical Keith nerd spreadsheet. Appreciate you following along, and I hope that you find it useful. Okay, here we go. All right, here is the calculator we just got done talking about. Is divided into 3 sections. The left section here is where you'll enter the values for your current system. The right section here is where we'll enter the values for the ARNO Fast Change gang plate, and then we have a monthly setup cost calculator here. So let's just jump in and start putting in values. We have swap tools, or the amount of minutes it takes us to actually physically change an insert or change a tool, the amount of minutes it takes to requalify or touch that tool off again once we change it, and the amount of time it takes us if we're messing around with adjusting coolant spigots to get them realigned and pointing back toward the cut zone. So let's go in here and say, for our old system or the system that we're currently using or you're using, if it takes you 5 minutes to actually physically reach in there and change the tool, and then it would take you a minute to re-qualify that tool, and then if it takes you a minute to adjust your coolant spigots, that gives us a total of 7 minutes per tool. So these are minutes per tool. And then down here we have where we can enter how many tools we have in our gang plate or in our setup, how many times we're changing tools per shift, and how many shifts we are running in a day. So we will enter in here, we have 5 tools in our setup. We're swapping them twice per day. We may swap them once per day if we're running an aluminum job. We may swap them 3 times per day if we're running a more difficult material. But let's just say 2 times per day that we're swapping those tools. And then we're running a 3-shift operation. So we end up with 30 swaps per day. And then that costs us 210 minutes per 3-shift day, or 3.5 hours. And then we will enter our shop rate. So if we're running an $80 an hour overhead, we'll put 80 in there. So this bottom line here is giving us the cost of our spindle downtime in per day, per 5-day week, per month, and per year. So we come up with a total cost of downtime of $70,000 per year with the incumbent system. So put your numbers in there, see what you come up with. These are some numbers I gleaned off of several other customers that I've had conversations with. So I feel like they're pretty realistic, but again, your numbers matter to you. My numbers don't. And then we come down here to the monthly setup cost calculator, where we have, if we're running individual high pressure coolant lines to individual tools in our setup, that takes a lot of time to plumb. So if you tear an old setup down, you put a new setup in, and you have to replumb with all those high pressure coolant lines, let's just say that takes you 2 hours. And this is actually in minutes, not hours. So we'll put in, if it takes us 2 hours, we'll put in 120 minutes. And if you have to adjust coolant spigots, after you plumb your manifolds, you can put an additional value in there. And then we'll run down here and say, okay, well, how many times you set that machine up? How many times is it taking you 120 minutes to set that machine up every month. So if you have long-running jobs, obviously you only set it up once per month. But if you're setting it up weekly, you're going to take that time 4 times per month, and we're going to enter our shop rate in there again. And now we're going to come up with a value. It's costing us another $7,700 per year of that machine sitting idle while we're plumbing in those high pressure coolant lines. So we go over to the ARNO system. The ARNO system is a true fast change system because it is it's a split shank. We have a fixed stop, and the business end of the tool fits up against that fixed stop, so we don't have to remove the entire tool. So we just simply loosen 2 screws, take the old tool out, put the new tool in, tighten the screws. We don't even have to mess around changing the insert. We can just take the whole tool out, change the insert on the bench, put the end of the tool back in, and have it repeat very, very closely to where it was. So that's 2 minutes. I've had people tell me it takes them 1 minute, people tell me it takes them 3 minutes, so we're just going to split the difference here. It only takes 2 minutes to change a tool with the ARNO Fast Change system. We don't have to requalify it, because if you can live with plus or minus under 1/1000ths repeatability, you can just put the tool back in, hit the start button, and make an offset downstream if we have to. And there are no coolant spigots to adjust, because the ARNO Fast Change system is a true through coolant system, so there's no spigots to adjust. So we have a total swap time now of 2 minutes, as opposed to 7 minutes in our old system. So we'll just make everything here same. We have number of tools on our setup 5, number of swaps per shift 2, number of shifts per day 3, and this swaps per shift will be impacted by switching to a through coolant system. So if you're using spigots, your tool life isn't going to be as long as if you're using true through coolant tooling. On your turning tools, on your grooving tools, on your parting tools, through coolant will increase your tool life. So you do have the added benefit of fewer swaps per shift because you're getting better tool life. But we're just going to keep it same for now. And then we're going to come down here, we're going to put the same shop rate in. So now we have this system is only going to cost us $20,000 per year sitting idle against our shop rate. So we have a yearly revenue gain of $57,680 from switching out of a traditional system and putting in an ARNO Fast Change system. We have gained $57,000. Again, please put your numbers in here. Make sure they're accurate to your current state and your operation. But if these numbers are correct, and I've had several customers give me these identical numbers, it's now your investment in an ARNO Fast Change system is going to pay itself off very, very quickly. And then you're going to have these monthly revenue gains and annual revenue gains to put into other areas of your operation. So that's the calculator. Pretty quick, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Please let us know if you need one, and we'll help you plug the numbers in if you want. But you can see it's very, very easy to help justify the purchase of a Fast Change system.